Hi, we're the Boyles family. I'm Meg.
I'm Henley. I'm Ro. I'm Ruby.
And we're going to read The Coat of Joseph. Joseph was loved by his father and was his favorite son. He loved Joseph so much that he gave him a beautiful coat of many colors. His brothers were jealous and rejected Joseph. The brothers sold Joseph into slavery for 20 pieces of silver, and he ended up in Egypt. While he was there, God used him to unfold the plan to save his chosen people from starvation during a 7-year famine. Joseph, through his mighty deeds and God's great blessings, he was made second to Pharaoh in Egypt. He had great power. When his brothers came to Egypt because they were looking for food, Joseph had mercy on them. He provided for their needs and forgave them for sinning against them. He not only saved them, but the rest of the Israelite people. The story of Joseph, who saved a generation of people, mirrors Jesus. Jesus was rejected, sold for 30 pieces of silver, and through his great mercy forgave our sins. Jesus saves all people for all times. Pray. Joseph showed great love and forgiveness to his brothers. Help us to forgive in our hearts. This is the story of Jacob. Jacob lived in the land of his father's travels, in the land of Canaan. This is the history of the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers. Now Israel, also called Jacob, loved Joseph more than all of his children, because he was the son of his old age, and Jacob made him a tunic of many colors. His brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, and they hated him and couldn't speak peaceably to him. Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers. They hated him all the more. He said to them, "Please hear this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and behold, a sheaf arose and stood upright. And behold, your sheaves came around and bowed down to my sheaf." His brothers asked him, "Will you indeed reign over us? Will you indeed have dominion over us?" They hated him all the more for his dreams and for his words. He dreamed yet another dream and told it to his brothers, and said, "Behold, I have dreamed another dream. And behold, the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowed down to me." He told it to his father and to his brothers. His father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have dreamed? Will I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow ourselves down to the earth before you?" His brothers envied him, but his father kept this saying in his mind. His brothers went to feed their flocks in Shechem. Israel said to Joseph, "Go now and see whether it is well with your brothers and well with the flock, and bring me word again." So he sent out to the valley of Hebron. Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. They saw him afar off, and before he came near to them, they conspired against him to kill him. They said to one another, "Behold, this dreamer comes.
Mom.
Come now, therefore, and let's kill him, and cast him into one of the pits. And we will say, 'An evil animal has devoured him.' We will see what will become of his dreams." Reuben heard it and delivered him out of their hand and said, "Let's not take his life." Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood. Throw him into this pit that is in the wilderness, but lay no hand on him, that he might deliver him out of his hand to restore him to his father." When Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his tunic, the tunic of many colors that was on him. And they took him, and they threw him into the pit. The pit was empty, and it had no water in it. The brothers sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, with their camels bringing spices and balm and myrrh, going to carry down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let's sell him to the Ishmaelites and not let our hand be on him, for he is our brother, our flesh." His brothers listened to him. Midianites, who were merchants, passed by, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. The merchants brought Joseph into Egypt. Reuben returned to the pit and saw that Joseph wasn't in the pit, and he tore his clothes. He returned to his brothers and said, "The child is no more, and where will I go?" They took Joseph's tunic and killed a male goat and dipped the tunic in the blood. They took the tunic of many colors and they brought it to his father, and they said, "We have found this. Examine it now and see if it is your son's tunic or not." Jacob recognized it and said, "It is my son's tunic. An evil animal has devoured him." Joseph is without doubt torn into pieces. Jacob tore his clothes and put sackcloth on his waist and mourned for his son many days. He refused to be confronted. His father wept for him. The Midianites sold him to Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, the captain of the guard. Genesis 37. God worked so many more amazing things in Joseph's life. Even while Joseph had many struggles, he was faithful. Read the rest of the story in Genesis 39 to 45.